You are listening to Keep Canada Weird by the Nighttime Podcast.
Hello, listeners. We got a special episode for you here. We're about to kick off a new series of explainer-style Keep Canada Weird episodes. These are deep dives prepared by our hardworking and overly enthusiastic intern, Matthew. Matthew's mission? It's to help new listeners get caught up on some of the most bizarre, misunderstood, or frequently referenced moments in Keep Canada Weird history. We thought what better place to start with this than the Ag versus Ag Gate scandal that took place between a series of episodes spanning February to March of 2024. It began with a simple on-air slip-up, and it spiraled into weeks of listener outrage, widespread confusion, and bitter debate that still gets referenced to this day. So whether you lived through the Ag versus Ag Gate chaos or you're hearing about it for the first time, the report that Matthew prepared lays it all out beautifully. So buckle up for a strange and educational ride into one of the most ridiculous chapters in Keep Canada Weird history.
Hello, Jordan and Aaron. This is your intern, Matthew. I have created this compilation of important moments from the Egg vs. Ag Gate saga from last year. In order to understand the full context of what happened, I will guide us through the 3 weeks during which this took place. It all started on February 24th, 2024, when your run-of-the-mill story on Keep Canada Weird caused a mistake to be made, and the fans made sure to let you know it. Take a listen.
Settlers began arriving here in the 1870s. Also arriving by horse 150 years later is Shelby Opine.
3 cream, 2 sweetener, and a honey cruller donut for the horse.
She takes Charlie everywhere, even for coffee, to make him comfortable in different environments. But about 6 months ago, Shelby and Charlie began running into trouble with the law.
They have pulled me over 6 times in the last 6 months. The last time was Tuesday, and they told me that I was no longer allowed to ride in town. I couldn't have horses here. I could be arrested and put in jail.
Horse feathers, said Shelby.
Our bylaw says that we can. Our High River page you can actually go on says horses are a mean of transportation. The only issue is they poop.
Tuesday, the mayor felt he had to step right into the middle of it.
Sometimes you got to clean up the mess afterwards, so that's what we're doing.
Turns out Shelby was right. Mayor Snodgrass says things got goofy when peace officers got legal advice without first going to council.
We're the town of High River. We're a small ag-based community. Shelby's more than welcome to ride her horse.
And that was that.
Before we get back into it, this is was referred to as a egg. The mayor said we're just a small egg town or something. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't catch that.
Okay, I think this. I don't know the town that this takes place in. The town is High River. I think the town's economy is based on eggs.
Yeah, well, a horse can crush an egg pretty easily.
After this mistake, the fans were quick to respond. 1 week later, there were many voice memos. This controversy became the main focus of the next episode on March 5th. The controversy was named, and many voices were heard.
Oh my God, I don't recall another time we got more feedback about one specific statement or mistake that we made. Let's just own it. I believe we made a mistake, and oh goodness, the listeners let us know. This we will call Ag versus Ag Gate.
Hey guys, love the show. I found it pretty funny in the last episode when you were talking about the horse being ridden on the city streets, that you brought up the mayor stating it was a small egg town and then pondered the fact that they must produce a lot of eggs there. I think it's quite obvious that what he meant was it's a small ag town, as in small agriculture. So evidently what they produce there is baby carrots, cherry tomatoes, pickling cucumbers, tiny corn. Small agriculture, not small eggs. Anyhow, thanks for the great show. Always entertaining.
Thank you, John.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how Ruth corrected us.
I'm quite a bit farther north than where High River is, but you were thinking that they said egg, but in actual fact, it would be an ag society, meaning agriculture.
Ruth, I appreciate you. Thank you for the correction. Here is Sherry, who's correcting us from North Dakota.
It's not eggs, my dear. She said egg, like agriculture. Someone's probably already told you this, but love you guys. Bye.
When I re-listen to the episode, this guy sounds like he's saying egg.
Okay, so maybe it's on him.
Small ag-based community.
I think it's the way he really hit it hard as saying egg.
Of all the feedback we received about the egg versus Aggate, there was really only 2 scathing pieces. The first was sent as an anonymous voicemail. Here it comes.
Yeah.
First time caller, long time listener. Listen, there's no way you don't know what egg is. Agriculture, egg. This is why the animals are going to take over. People like you. I suggest you leave Cape Breton and Halifax and go to Canada, the rest of Canada, all of Canada. Check out the farms, maybe grab a Tim's. They're not that bad over here. I think it's just your Tim's. I suggest you also do some research, like how to spell or say Trafalgar. Trafalgar. It's not that hard. If you guys got out more, maybe you would learn things. This is how it works. You get out, you learn, and then you put it on your podcast, not the other way around. Cheers. I really hope you have a good day. I don't really know what's going on with your chicken of the sea over there, but like I said, it's agriculture here in the rest of Canada.
Though out of all the messages, one stood out, and it was far different than all the rest.
It gets so much worse, though, Aaron. Now, the next piece of feedback is a few steps past scathing. I don't have a voice message for this one. It seems that a listener named Elaine was unable to get the message through to us via nighttimepodcast.com and instead took her complaint to social media. Here's what it says. So Elaine writes, I attempted twice to send a voice recording, but I got a message saying that something went wrong. Here's what I tried to tell you. Jordan, this is in response to your February 27th broadcast about the lady riding her horse in Hay River, Alberta. And it's High River, Elaine. Your knowledge, and then it says, your knowledge.
Easy, man, easy.
Your knowledge about Canada's western provinces is underwhelming. Alberta is Canada's ranch and horse capital and has more horses per capita than anywhere else in Canada, likely more than people. The mayor said High River is an AG community, meaning agriculture, not ag, and is only 12,000 in population and is quite well equipped to handle a horse going to town, plus the tourists love it. She says Aaron Airport is a sad individual and needs a serious attitude adjustment. I don't need any more narrow-minded and nasty individuals in my life, and I won't be listening to any further podcasts with him in the future. He doesn't even make an effort. At least you're somewhat open-minded, although you need an education, talking about me. I'm wondering about the handsome tagline. Where can I find a picture to judge for myself? He sure doesn't sound handsome.
That's fair. And if Elaine does tune into next week's episode,
she's going to hate it.
Maybe she'll love it because we're talking about Elaine, and maybe Elaine loves to hear about Elaine. And maybe Elaine loves to hear my voice saying her name over and over again. Elaine. But let's have her on the show. Let's get her on and let's have a face-to-face.
Ooh, that is a great idea. Elaine.
So let's call that out.
We don't shy away from criticism. We don't shy away from controversy. Yeah, I'd have her on, and you two can just figure it out.
And I want us to come to a mutual understanding of each other. If we were to actually have a Zoom face-to-Zoom face conversation, and maybe Elaine and I can find some common ground and some things that we have in common, and then maybe by the end of it, a better understanding of each other, and we'll both be able to move forward as better people.
And we can all keep Canada weird together in peace.
One week went by waiting for Elaine's response. However, that would never happen.
Many people are tuning in tonight, listening to this episode, hoping to hear the showdown between Aaron and Elaine. But we released the episode. We called out, or you called out. I don't know, called out. You challenged Elaine to a debate live on air. Crickets. I think she's holding true to her word, and I think she's done with Keep Canada Weird and done with Handsome Aaron Airport.
Yeah, I think so. I would like to think so, actually. I mean, some people listen to the episodes later. Maybe she'll catch it. a week or two from now, and we'll hear from her. But it appears, as of now, that Elaine will not be accepting the challenge.
Though there were plenty of other messages from the fans, not just talking about egg versus ag, but also about Elaine.
She won't want to miss this one because a lot of Nighttime and Keep Canada Weird listeners have some thoughts about Elaine.
She said that Aaron needs a attitude adjustment. Well, I think that Elaine needs an attitude adjustment, and that she is a sad, miserable person who just likes to take her life problems out on two podcasters who are just trying to keep Canada weird.
Let's hear Kat's take on egg versus egg gate / Elaine gate. And Kat does not pull punches.
When I first heard the person talking about the Ag Town, I was really confused as well and assumed it was a town that produces eggs, because that's exactly what it sounded like to me. And I've never heard the term Ag Town, and I come from a small town in Nova Scotia where they actually do produce a lot of eggs, so I guess you could call us an egg town. Also, Lady Elaine can suck a horse's. Thanks. Love you guys.
I'm so glad I don't listen to these beforehand.
Officially, this controversy came to a comedic end on March 19th, 3 weeks after the initial mistake.
Victoria believes it could be a hoax, could be misdirection. Listen to this. This is an unexpected voice memo from Victoria.
Hi guys, Victoria here from upstate New York, weighing in on the whole egg-ag debacle. When I first heard you speak about this, I was under the assumption that you were changing ag to egg on purpose to poke fun at the small ag town. I was dumbfounded that listeners didn't get the joke and were turning this into a controversy. Now, with the benefit of further thought and additional listener comments, I think maybe you were both paid off by the great animal uprising lobby, which asked you to change egg into egg to get the chickens on board with the whole movement. Either way, both scenarios are very on brand with Keep Canada Weird. Keep up the great work, guys, and stay riz and drippy.
That was the end of the egg versus ag gate controversy. I hope this helps you guys and your listeners better understand this moment in Keep Canada Weird history. Be on the lookout for my other compilations on the many trials of Aaron Airport, as well as each of the special drinks. Thank you for listening, and remember to keep Canada weird.
Keep Canada Weird is written, hosted, and produced by the Nighttime Podcast.
And keep Canada weird. Please keep Canada weird.